Hi, my loves. It's Joy, my lady girl from around the way, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to y'all with some commentary about this whole Beyonce, Levi campaign and this Sydney Sweeney campaign. Girl, we have to get into the things. I think it goes without being said that I love Beyonce, okay? It's giving Beyonce. Do you look like Luther Vandross, okay? Y'all know where that's from? Drop in the comments if you know where that's from. Listen, if you're new here, consider subscribing, all right? We talk about cultural events, cultural topics, and we talk about them in a way that helps reshape and reframe our paradigm so we can live the life that we deserve to live. Now, I want you to like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because it really, truly, greatly helps me, get things together as far as the album and everything like this. Now, Beyonce, in all fairness, she's on her Cowboy Renaissance World Tour. She is country. Beyonce is country. Okay? Like, I know everybody was so gagged that she came out with a country album, but if you have been a Destiny's Child fan, if you've been a fan of Beyonce, they used to make fun of her southern accent. They used to say she was so country and how she talks. Some of her older interviews, you can kind of really hear her southern drawl. She is a country girl, right? I think that we have this perception of what country actually looks like because of media, because of all of these different standards and other things and other factors. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know exactly what I'm saying, right? We think of country for Black people in a different way than we do for white people. However, there is a cultural difference from Southerners in all aspects. Like there just is. There's no denying it. It is what it is, girl. Okay? So Beyonce has partnered with Levi, we already know, and she released some images. And apparently Piers Morgan had a lot to say about this. Now, I skipped over the Sydney Sweeney thing because, to be quite honest with you, I don't really care that much. But we'll get into it. Let's get into what Piers Morgan and the panel had to say about Beyonce, and then I'll come back with my commentary.
Humanist, you would share my view that this is a disgraceful, culturally appropriating moment where she is hijacking Marilyn Monroe in a disgraceful manner. In fact, borderline racist and possibly akin to the Nazis. Would you agree?
You actually don't know anything about cultural appropriation, Pierce. You're just hijacking words like woke, misusing them with your political bias, and trying to spin it into something that's not. Can
you answer the question?
Cultural appropriation? You're wrong. Period.
Are you offended by Beyonce culturally appropriating Marilyn Monroe? Yes or no?
It's not culturally appropriating Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe did not invent blonde.
Interesting.
Did she invent blonde?
She's looking like Marilyn Monroe for a reason.
Can I jump in? Is this a traditional black hair?
No, hang on, Mike. I want to bring in Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson, what is amazing to me? What's amazing to me? Sydney Sweeney, a hot white blonde in jeans, saying good jeans, disgraceful, world end, she's a Nazi, white supremacist.
You said
Beyonce culturally appropriating Marilyn Monroe, absolutely fine, in fact empowering. Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, this entire scandal is completely pushed by the left. What you guys should have done is just shut up. Should have just shut up. You shouldn't have said anything about it. This whole play on jeans, it was just a clever piece of wordplay. That's it. Worked out real well. And what you did by all your Twitter accounts going crazy with this is you sold all of these jeans out for this company, right? Made this chick tons of money, gave the right huge amounts of ammunition to use on you, where we just point and laugh because it's the dumbest controversy I've ever seen.
Now, Piers Morgan going so hard for this whole cultural appropriation for Marilyn Monroe is really sickening, because what is this guy even talking about even? I want to note that Marilyn Monroe, icon legend. I don't get the rave of how all of the Black girls be on her like that, but Beyonce wearing the blonde hair and doing it like this, Marilyn Monroe was not the only white woman at the time to even do that. And like the person said on the panel, she did not create blonde hair. The guy's like, well, is it a traditional hairstyle? Because a traditional hairstyle is an example that's often included when you're talking about cultural appropriation. We're not talking about hair color. We're talking about hair style, right? So I don't know if he was talking about the style. I don't know if he was talking about the color. But just to be clear, the cultural appropriation is when someone from a dominant or more privileged culture takes elements from another culture. So, and like the group is usually like historically marginalized, and they don't really have the real understanding or respect um, for the original meaning or the original significance. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not about borrowing, it's about the power imbalance. The dominant group can profit from or gain social clout by using these kind of things, like using these cultural elements. Think Marc Jacobs and his long nails and these ringlets and like all of the things that they cherry pick from us, while people from the culture of the origin may still face discrimination for practicing or displaying the same type of behaviors or like having the same type of aesthetic. It's no different than everybody was praising, dissing black women for having big lips. Oh, you got those soup coolers. Oh, you got those second lips. Da 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 da. But as soon as the white girls, get the filler, they get the lip injections, they do all of these things. Every nigga in America want a girl with the Kylie Jenner lips. Like it's no different. So what Beyonce is doing by wearing this blonde wig is not cultural appropriation, guys. Just so we're freaking clear. And it's really just about knowing the history and the significance. There's no history about wearing blonde hair, right? It's nothing sacred. It's nothing different. There's no artistic, creative thing about that. It just is what it is. But Piers Morgan going out to say she's young, hot, and she's this, that, and the third. It's really kind of just giving Piers Morgan is upset that Beyonce can pull the looks that she's pulling, and she has this country thing that's happening without the swirl around the Republican conservative movement. Because let's be clear, you can be country without being conservative, right? You could be patriotic without being conservative. You can be all of these things without necessarily identifying as a conservative, which I really feel like MAGA culture has hijacked the conservative term. Okay. MAGA cult has hijacked the conservative term. Like, I just don't feel like they're all in the same. Like, there's Republican or conservative. Like, MAGA is something completely different. And I don't know, I feel like Piers Morgan was just going extremely hard on this. It's really given he can't understand. He doesn't like how Beyonce, a black woman, can wear a blonde wig and look equally as good or maybe better and still be attractive. And perhaps he's attracted to her. Because what was the purpose of saying Sydney Sweeney, a young, hot white woman, or whatever he said, girl? And then to make the comparison and the point, like, are you upset that Beyonce is a black woman and can still pull that look and still be versatile? And perhaps you're attracted to her, Piers Morgan, and you're upset that she can look the way that she looks, and you're not supposed to be attracted to a black woman like Beyonce. Is it that? I don't understand the purpose of saying Sydney Sweeney is so young, hot, and blonde. Now, to pivot into what the Sydney Sweeney thing is, that conversation, I'm gonna be honest with you, I could care. Like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, when I first watched it, I'm like, okay, like, she has good genes. Like, I honestly and truly did not get it. I kind of like it took for me to go into the comments to see what was actually happening. So the Sydney Sweeney has great genes is like, it kind of went over my head, but some are calling. Once I started reading, I'm like, okay, this is a dog whistle for eugenics, right? We know that the whole idea of whiteness and purity, because let's be clear, Christian nationalism is on the rise, girl. It's on the rise, okay? These whites are not playing about their pure race, and this is why we have the blue jeans, the GEANS versus the GENES, I'm white, I'm pure, I have Nordic, Eastern European, like these are all like little plays on that. And I mean, like, it makes sense, and it doesn't surprise me. However, who gives a fuck? It's American Eagle jeans. Like, girl, we all knew the way that those Hollister models was out there and getting fondled by that man, and American Eagle was the next best thing, and they all wanted skinny, thin, very, very thin white people to be in the stores. And if you was black, Spanish, or non-white, your ass was in the back folding t-shirts. We knew since then. Okay. We knew since then what it was, and that's just what it is. I don't understand. Like, let them people have it. I think what can be dangerous though is that the campaign really kind of sparked debate about race and beauty standards, which obviously goes against, like, I don't want to say woke culture, because honestly, I feel like even the woke movement, the woke culture has kind of been, murky for some time now. The radical left and all these things. Like, girl, it's just so much. And, I think what really kind of solidified this whole Sydney Sweeney thing is the fact that Donald Trump came out in support of a campaign for jeans, y'all. He said, oh, this is a beautiful campaign. Again, this does feel like, now that I'm thinking about this, definitely is a dog whistle to the good old boys, or whatever they call themselves, girl. Like, yeah, we are in support of eugenics, and we are going to support the blonde hair, blue eye rhetoric that's been passed down through genes, right? Um, that's not surprising. That's what these people kind of want. So, like, I feel like feeding into that is something completely different. Like, I just don't choose to, but I understand the importance of having the conversations, because if we're all here, and, like, there is room for the blonde hair, blue eyed girls to feel like, okay, we have representation. I mean, like, not that they don't. It's just like, I don't give a damn. That's really where I'm at with it. I really don't. But I think Donald Trump going out of his way to say, he supports the campaign. It's great. She wrote a Republican. It's given like, this is what we want the Republican Party to look like. This is the ideal MAGA person. And it's just really disgusting when you think about it, because, like, have you been to the grocery store lately? Okay, have you listened to people talk about their financial troubles just buying ground beef, or smaller things? Like, you out here supporting an American Eagle campaign. Get your ass down and figure out this damn economy, these tariffs that the middle class is completely paying for, might I add. That's a whole nother conversation, girl, because that's not what we're here for. Beyonce is not wrong for wearing that blonde wig. Sydney Sweeney, they probably used that girl. Does she know? Who is she? I thought she was Canadian. I really don't even know. I feel like, let them people have it. This was a dog whistle when you think about it, because now all of the MAGA supporters, the white Republicans, the white Christian nationalists, they've all flooded to buy these American Eagle jeans. It's like they're brandish, like, this is who we are. We're going to stand with American Eagle. Cool. Cool. So now I know, if I see in American Eagle, I know exactly who you are. You might as well just equate it to wearing the MAGA hat at this point. Beyonce has Levi. If you really feel that way, buy Levi. You understand what I'm saying? That's all. That's it. I want to know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comments, sister. As always, I am sending you much love and much light. I will see you in the next video. Peace.